So, hi sir, good morning. I am Judy Ann S. Tanador, a second year college taking AM-DNA. So, the common patterns in nature. So, we have the first is symmetry. So, symmetry is a pattern that shows reflections of image. We have the two kind of symmetry. First is the radial symmetry. Is a symmetry formed around a central axis. On the other hand, a fly is an example of a bilateral symmetry. The second is bilateral symmetry. It is a concept that two opposite sides have identical features. So we have the examples of symmetry pattern. This is the first example of symmetry, the t-shirt. The second is the notebook. The third is wall clock. The third is the mayana. It's a fourth example of symmetry. The last one is the AC plants. So that's all the example of the symmetry. So the second pattern, it is a fractal. So it is a pattern which repeats at progressively smaller sizes and angles. So we have the fractal example. First is the papayas leaf. So that's So the second example is the gabi-gabi. So yeah. So the third is the snake plant. Yan. So the fourth is this leaf. So we have the fifth example. So that's all the example of fractal pattern. So the third is the spiral pattern. It is a pattern that moves around at a central point and continuously widening. We have the example of spiral. First is the rose. The second is this is the whole flower of and then this is and then the curtains flower and then the sound box. And then the last is the cover of the electric fan. So that's all the example of the spiral pattern. So the last one is that tessellation. So it is a pattern that repeats figures closely fitting together with two gaps in between. So that is the tessellation. So the first example of the tessellation is the floor mat. Yan. So the example of tessellation. The second is this. Yan. So the third is the wall. So yan. So our wall. And then the curtains. Then the last one is our window. So, window. So that's all the example of the tessellation. So mathematics is the science of patterns, and nature exploits just about every patterns that there is by Ian Stewart. So that's all. Thank you.